What up, YouTube, 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 you? Oh, alright, anyway. I know y'all been waiting for a while. Sample School, volume 11. Just take a 10 and a 1, makes 11. It's like Sample School, volume 11. Crazy. It's early Sunday morning. I'm crazy. I'm having fun. I'm bugging out a bit. And the studio is junky as hell, but sometimes I create best when I'm in a junky studio. I don't know. Things are like all in order. Sometimes I find I can't. I don't know. Whatever. Crazy, right? Check it out. Today I'm going over inspiration. I've done this before. I went over this plenty of times, but I can't stress the importance of inspiration. Because if you're not inspired, you ain't making shit anyway. It's just what it is. But a lot of times a track can inspire you to build something. So a lot of times with this whole sampling thing, or if you don't know how to play original music, you know, you're like, oh, I don't know how to do this. I can't come up with original stuff in my head. Don't stress your brain. Just sometimes sit down, listen to music, and sometimes listen to how it's arranged. And then, even though you're not a musician, which a lot of us in the beginning aren't, we're not musicians in a lot of cases. And this is not to knock on musicians, because there are some musicians and they can get it in. Because I do wish I was a musician. Keyboard, at the very least keyboard, where I could just get it in. But by us not being musicians, a lot of times we can still make original pieces. We just need to break it down. We just need to break it down to the least common denominator, or make a simplistic form. And it can always get more elaborate. I've made simplistic stuff that I thought sounded okay, and then I got my cousin to listen to it, and he just redid it more elaborately. So you've got a lot of things that you can do. You can always reach out to other people and other sources to get it in. So I made this especially for this video. So I'm doing things a little bit. I'm gonna let you hear the end result. And then I'm going to show you what inspired the end result, and then I'm going to go through the tracks, and hopefully I can remember how I played these things, so you can kind of get the gist of things. Alright, so I'm going to start off by saying that this original composition, when I was doing it, and a lot of times when you're not a musician, the best thing for you to do is play it slow. Play it slow. Sometimes playing it, trying to do keyboard stuff fast and little parts, no matter how simplistic it is, sometimes it's best to just do it slow. Why? Because if you're doing something original, it's all MIDI information anyway, so you can always pitch it up. So let's go there with it. So check this out. So when I started doing it and piecing everything together, I did it slow. So my original tempo was 62. I knew that wasn't going to be the tempo I wanted the beat to be at. I knew I wanted the beat to be at more like a 84. No, it's 82. So let's pitch it back up to 82, and let's listen to it at 82. There we go. The drums came last. When I built this track, I started off with the bass line. Alright? So, without further ado, let's go through what inspired this, and then I'm going to just go ahead and start breaking down the track. Alright? Peace. Alright, so here's the record. Open the door, walk right on in. Darling, let's start all over again. Alright, so I captured it on the remix, and this is what I took. Walk right on in. Darling, let's start So that's that. So let's go back to the MPC and the Advanced 49. Alright, so you might can hear the music in the background low. Typically that's how I start off. I'm going to get my bass line in, so what I do is I let the music play in the background and I mess around with the keys. Alright. So, for the bass line is to go to a high octave, just in case you can't hear it, is and that's the bass line. And then what I did was I made a copy, so I did that bass line on track 2. So let me let you hear that. I did the bass line on track 2, so let's do a track music. Then what I did was I took track 2 and made an exact copy to track 3, so I could keep the MIDI information. So that means track 3 and track 2 are exactly the same, playing the same MIDI notes. But then what you could do is you can go into your plugins and change the instrument. And what I did was I changed the instrument and I went to a keyboard sound, a clavinet, and I added that to it. So now they're playing together. It's not even a clavinet really, it's the Rhodes. I added the Rhodes because it gives the bass a little bite, and make it sound a little bit more vintage, at least in my opinion. So I didn't have to play that twice. I only had to play it once, and I just made a copy, transferred the information, just changed the instruments. So that gave me 2 tracks right there. The next thing I tackled was the strings. And let's kind of go over that. So, it's really 2 notes, but I'm hoping you can see this. It's really just 2 notes, but I'm playing two sets of keys like this. But I wanted a little transition in it. So what I did was, on a higher octave, so on a higher octave, I played the note. So I had one sustain a note, and the other one I just played. So it gave a nice effect. That way it didn't sound choppy or anything like that. So let's listen to that track. So it kind of gives like a gliding effect into it. So the other track was so took a grand piano, but in a higher octave. It's that simple. And I think I did it 2 of them, like, whoa. Alright, so it kind of like in a chord form. Alright. And then the last track was alright, so let's go to that track. So it's like so I played D and E, but played one after another and then did it, you know, kind of inverted, so to speak, so you got that effect. Don't sound much by itself, but when you put all of it together, it really comes out unique. Alright, so let's put all this stuff together, and then all this stuff together. And that's what I did. I was inspired by that record. Alright, so let's go to the record. I'm going to let you hear it one more time. Matter of fact, we're just going to go to Remix 16 so you can listen to the original piece one more time. Whoa. There we go. Walk right on in. Darling, let's start all over again. It's a lot of stuff going on, but if you listen to it, and if you had to rewind the video a little bit and listen to it intricately. All I did was listen. The bass line inspired me to play a bass line, which was almost similar, just a more simplistic version of the bass line that was in there. Same thing with the strings, same thing with the keyboard part. Ding 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 ding. And then to add a little effect, but I don't know what instrument they used. Da doo, da doo, da doo, doo, da doo. So instead of doing that, I just went ahead and used the Rhodes. And it actually turned out to be a nice effect. So when you bring all those things together, you get a nice track. So, Sample School Volume 11, it's all about inspiration. If you're not a musician, just get inspired. If you're inspired by a track, and plus, that track didn't have a break where the dude wasn't singing on the parts that I like, so I try to recreate the instruments on it. And in some cases, and you can actually take the original sample and kind of incorporate it into your original production. So I could like high filter his vocals, try to take some of the instrumentation out the original sample and incorporate it into my original track. It's going to sound pretty good because pretty much they're roughly right around the same notes. So stay inspired. Sample School Volume 11. Listen to samples. Listen to them intricately. You know how you got a day you can't say a goddamn word, but you know what I'm trying to say. All right, listen to it. You know, deeply. You know, listen to all the instruments in it, and then try to make something. Mess around. You don't have to be a seasoned musician to produce and make hot tracks. Just take your time. And as you see, to get everything right, I actually pitched it down. Then once I got everything in the track right, you can always speed it up to the tempo that you want it to be. So, there you go. Sample School Volume 11 Inspirations. Sample School Volume 12 coming up soon, I hope. I got a vacation coming up very soon, so I'm going to try to get that in before I go out of town. So, alright people, peace.